So, a little while ago, I bought a wrecked Yamaha R1 that was really messed up, and I started to rebuild it. Over the past few months, I had to take it apart, weld back together what could be repaired, paint more than I ever did before, and replace the rest of the broken parts. After that came the very fun time of putting everything back together. And now the bike works! So the bike is pretty now, but it still has a salvage title, which means I'm not allowed to ride it on the road. It's essentially a heavy and expensive paperweight. To change the title, I can bring the bike with a bunch of documents to a DMV inspection center and see if they approve the bike back on the road. Or not. And I really hope I didn't do all that for nothing. So in this video, we're gonna see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today is a big day. We've been working months to get to that point. We are ready to go for the inspection that's gonna get us from a salvage title to a clean title. And I am allowed to ride on the street for a very limited time on that wrecked bike. So I'm gonna take advantage of that, go for a test ride, make sure everything works as it should be. So when I finally go to the inspection center and back, I have peace of mind. So let me find my gear and let's go for that first test ride. And because my mom is very nice, she sent me everything from home. I haven't used any of that in 10 years. Now I make YouTube videos, I need to put a camera on the helmet. And I want a second point of view, this time on the bike. So I'm gonna add another camera on the swing arm and safety wire it so I don't lose it on the road when I ride. Quick interruption. I'm on my computer editing the video that you're watching right now, and it takes me a lot of time. So the only thing I'm asking you is to subscribe to the channel. If you're not there yet, at least like the video. It tells YouTube to show it to other people. Okay? Let's go back to the video. Oh, yeah, so I'm a little rusty when it comes to putting motorcycle gear on. It's been a while. So after fighting with my jacket for a little bit, I was finally ready for the first test ride. And here we are, on the road with this wrecked Yamaha R1 that we completely rebuilt over the past few months. So first thing first, put some gas in the tank. So of course, at first, I was very slow, because you may remember from a previous video that when I opened the engine after the accident, I found a bunch of stone pieces and road debris inside the crankcase, and I wasn't completely sure if the engine was damaged by that. So I was listening closely, trying to hear if there was any weird noise coming from the engine and if the bike was running smooth. So when it did run correctly, I was way more comfortable to pick up the pace. And then there was that guy with an Audi S5 who was driving pretty fast. I didn't want to race, so I didn't provoke him, I didn't look at him when I was just by him at the light, was patiently waiting. But when the light went green, I realized the guy was definitely racing. My very low self-control when I'm on a bike kicked in. I had to catch up with him, and lucky we didn't do anything crazy because we passed the cops right after that. There's a racer on a motorcycle with no license plate. That bike is super healthy. And I knew I was getting far from home when I saw those geese crossing the road. And on the way back there was another guy who wanted to race me. He had that red Mustang GT. That bike is definitely a troublemaker. And after a great mix of highways, back roads and city streets, look at that! Even with a freezing temperature, I found a motorcycle friend. I was surprised because even on nice days, we rarely see bikes in New York. And I noticed one thing when I was going back. Every time I was stuck in traffic or stopped for a while at a light, my engine temperature was reaching 210 degrees, which for me was really hot because it's a very cold day outside. But when I did my research after the ride, I saw that the R1s don't really like to be stationary. They need to move to have air coming to the radiator and keep them cool, which is exactly what happened to me, so nothing wrong here. Alright, so I'm gonna stop talking, run a few clips, because I want you to have an idea of what it feels like on board. Enjoy! Oh, that bike is dope! So I'm very happy with the way it went yesterday. The bike works perfect, everything works as it's supposed to be. Now I gotta go to my inspection, so I'm gonna go on the road with the bike, put the camera on it, show you exactly how it goes, go to the inspection and hopefully pass, and then come back here. It's pretty cold outside, so let's go ahead, gear up, and go on the road. And just like that, I got to the inspection center. So to be more serious, I removed the camera on my swing arm, and that, by the way, is inside the inspection center. Very quickly after I arrived, it was time for my bike to be inspected. I wasn't allowed to be in the same room as my bike when the inspection was taking place, but I was still able to catch that footage right here. So I'm not really sure what I'm looking at right now. Those inspectors really look like tire kickers from Craigslist, but from what I understand, that inspection is really not here for safety, but it's to make sure you didn't use any stolen parts to rebuild your vehicle. So with the bike, I had to bring a big folder full of receipts with the VINs of the vehicles the parts were coming from, just to make sure nothing was stolen on the bike. And very quickly, the inspection was finished and I was able to go back home. And just as I left, it started snowing, so I wanted to go home fast. But with my new tires and this cold weather, I had a pretty quick reminder. Woo! Party time! Oh, great. Yep, that wet stuff on the street, that's sold. Super slippery. And see, that's a pretty steep street, and that Amazon van got stuck, so the pickup right after cutting in front of me now started to back up on me. Oh no, stop. So let's just say that I was happy to have that pickup out of the way and finally arrive back home. Wow, that last part with the pickup truck was pretty sketchy. Anyway, that bike works great. It's a pretty long ride from here to the inspection center, and I had no problem. It's a very cold day and I really enjoy myself. And this is exactly what this channel is all about. Getting something that's in really bad condition, finding deals, learning something along the way when you rebuild it, and then finally enjoying it. And let's talk about the inspection real quick. The inspection is not to make sure that your bike or your car is street legal. I had the key on me the entire time. They don't even know if the engine works. And my mufflers in the back are not street legal. I was kind of stressing about this. It doesn't matter. What they want to see is the photos of after the accident, which is before you work on it. Then they want to see the bike now. And they want to see, okay, we have a complete vehicle and he had to do all that work. We want to see all the receipts that show that he didn't get any stolen parts. Especially for the used parts, they want to have a VIN of the vehicle it's coming from, and that's it. I had all my receipts, they checked everything, and I was approved. Which means that I'm going to have a clean title, I'm going to have a license plate, I'll be able to go on the road. I can't wait to make a video when I go for a ride with that bike and show it on the camera. So if you like that type of content when I rebuild or build something and then enjoy it, you should definitely definitely subscribe to the channel, activate your post notification, this way you know when I post a new video. If you like this video, well, like the video, it really helps me and tells YouTube that other people will like it too. I see you in the next one, and meantime, keep building.